Hey guys, so this is another Who to Summon video, and funny story, 2 weeks ago my phone died, so I was able to get a new phone, and just now, I was able to actually make this phone work to make videos. So yeah, let's do it guys. So, Who to Summon. So this time around, they added two very, very powerful must-have heroes for me to choose for you guys in this situation. And ironically, these two heroes did not make my top 10, so that's ironic. But we're gonna clear all that up today, guys. But let's talk about Shelly real quick. So Shelly is our new hero, and I gotta say, she is a good hero as long as you have a hero from her faction in your team. If by any chance that hero or those heroes die and she is left, she's just gonna become a slow hero that is doing damage from time to time. So that is not very bueno, guys, in that situation. So she does depend a lot of a hero that it is from her faction. And I'm going to explain that a little bit more on her update video in that case. So from now on, I'm going to recommend you to have two of her faction at least. It could be Roland, it could be Sigmund in that situation. As long as those guys are alive, she can do her stuff very nicely. I was practically impressed. Her at +1, she actually did a good amount of damage. However, once my Roland died, yeah, that was the end of her. That's the sad part about this hero. So for now, I'm still thinking that she's still not a must-have in that situation. However, she does have her uses, and especially on the second yellow team, because when you actually use all your good yellows on your first team, the second one is not as good, but she's going to help you actually make that second team a lot better in that situation. I'm going to explain that a lot in her update video as well. Now for Edjona, I mean, I've spoke so much about Edjona in her Still Good video that yeah, you got to see that video so you can get the full most of the explanation. I always have a lot more to say about heroes. So probably in that video, I forgot to say that her on defense in Sky Road is, yeah, if you do that on Sky Road, nobody's gonna like you. I'm not gonna like you. I mean, yeah, nobody likes to fight Edjona in Sky Road because, yeah, she pretty much becomes her own team on defense. And then when if you don't kill her as soon as possible, one of your heroes is gonna die, and everybody's gonna hate you. Everybody's gonna hate you 100%. Nobody likes to fight this chick in Sky Road. So that's something I forgot to mention in her Still Good video for sure. So she's definitely a must-have. On her own, she creates an entire freaking team. Like that's the biggest advantage for her by far. With her, it's yeah, if you get her to +5, she will be a full team on her own. And just make sure to attack the correct teams, as I explained on her Still Good video. But yeah, she is a very good hero, very powerful. Yeah, very powerful stuff, guys, for sure. Now with Bellos is a very powerful hero. She won't create an entire team on her own like Edjona, but I mean, ever since she was released, she has been a terror for everyone in this situation. Any single attack purple team you have, her at +5 of course, is going to be a straight up replacement for almost any hero on the attack. Any purple hero that you use on the attack will get an upgrade if you add her at +5. She does give 43% attack to all purple heroes. She's a realm user, an enemy realm user. She's gonna make sleep. She's gonna lower the attack. She's gonna lower the healing, which is not something that is ignored a lot. Usually when Edjona realm is up, heroes tend to die easier. That's because there's a lot less healing in that situation. So Bellos is an amazing option for you. If you plan to get her +5, yeah, she's a game changer for you in this situation. So, but not so much at +1. She's okay. You're able to use her. It will lower the attack. But heroes, and especially if you use her on defense, you will be able to play around the sleep, because sometimes you get to sleep, sometimes you don't. And the biggest disadvantage that Bellos has now is that there's so many heroes that the developers designed to actually beat her. that she doesn't have as much impact as if she was released originally. So that's the biggest downfall of Belnos for sure. There's a lot of heroes that work very, very well against her. Apollo is a straight up counter, like 100% against her, so it's pretty disgusting, guys, in that situation. So that's the disadvantage of using Belnos, but she is still a pretty disgusting hero, and especially on the attack. I've noticed on the attack, her advantage hasn't really changed a lot on the attack. So on defense, it has, because there's a lot of heroes that counter her, but on the attack, yeah. Pretty much the best players in the game use Belnos on their main purple team for a reason, because on the attack she gives a really huge advantage in that situation. So who to actually summon? Well, sadly, I won't recommend this hero to actually be summoned compared to these monsters of heroes. I mean, yeah, in that situation. So I can't really recommend, because she's not a must-have in this situation. Shelly, I'm talking about Shelly, by the way. She will be an excellent upgrade for anyone that does not have a good damage hero that is on their yellow team. So if you only have Roland, she is a straight up upgrade to almost any hero you could actually get in this situation. Crowley is technically better on doing damage, but if you don't have Crowley, many players don't have Crowley. Let's be honest. So if you don't have Crowley, she is going to be a huge upgrade for your team. You are going to have Roland with his weapon and +3. So yeah, I highly recommend to get this hero if you do not have a good yellow attack hero on your team. So she is going to do her job. That's the main thing, especially versus shield heroes, and especially if you pair her with heroes from her own faction. Now, the real question is who to choose between these two if you're not going to choose this one. So, this is a hard option because these two heroes are freaking amazing. Like, yeah. But I'm going to lean more for Edjona. The main reason is that not everybody has all the best heroes for purple. So if you had all the best heroes for purple, this would have been an excellent option. In other words, Belnos would have been an excellent option because that would be an upgrade straight up to that. However, if you don't have a lot of good purple heroes, you just need to get this one, and that's it. The thing is that both of them, you have to get them a +1, so there's no difference there. But if you don't have good purple heroes, you can get Edjona. You can get her as high as you can, and you're going to have your full purple team. That's what I love about Edjona. She is very, very good at doing everything on her own in that situation. Even on defense. In defense, I recommend her a little bit less, because the thing is that she is going to make your team with less HP, because each time she goes off, she's going to suck the HP from them in that situation. However, her on defense is most of the times, not always, but most of the time, is going to force her it's going to force your enemy to lose the fight most of the time. So if you have a team and it's not really powerful, you can add Edjona, and that's gonna probably make them attack you twice in that situation, unless somebody freezes her, unless somebody stuns her. Yeah, that's a new weakness that she has. If she's stunned or things like that, her snakes are not gonna activate in that situation, or not gonna be revived. So that's something you have to take into account as well when you're actually doing this. But yeah, I highly recommend for you to get Edjona, at least as +1, because at +1, she's going to help you out a lot in that situation. If you want more information, go check my Still Good video. I explain a lot more. I show a lot more in that situation. Now, in Belnos' situation, I think that Belnos is an amazing option as well. I am leaning more for Edjona because she's literally one hero team. But yeah, Bellos is a crazy powerful hero. I recently have been using her on my Daemon team to actually make my enemies sleep, and she's a +0 in that situation. So they go to sleep, and in that situation, I do have more of an advantage to actually charge up and make the enemies not taunt, not create damage share for my Daemon team. So that's a high advantage in that situation. But on defense, she does perform less than before. It doesn't mean that she's still not good. She is very good. However, she is less effective on defense than before. That's for sure. But on the attack, she is an absolute monster. Even at +1, absolutely crazy. I highly recommend to get her. If you have a good purple team and you want to actually get a straight up upgrade to that team, Belnos is the best option, especially if you plan to get her +5. If you plan to get her +5, yeah, that is a no-brainer. You got to get this gal for sure. Very, very powerful hero. So first option, Edjona first, then Belnos, and finally my my poor Shelly. We'll talk about her in her update video for sure. All right, I almost forgot about the 4-star. So so let's talk about Crisanto. Crisanto is not bad. I've seen a few people use her on the attack, and she does do interesting damage, but she is a slow hero in this situation, so I can't really recommend her too much. However, Charmo, I have seen this guy on defense many times, especially with his own faction. And he does have his uses. If you plan to use him on his own faction, he will dodge and he will do damage here. And many times I've seen him being used as the whip holder, which is pretty awesome in that situation if you're only looking for 4 stars. Now, for this side here, Clara, I've always been a huge fan of Clara. She will lower the defense, and her skill is fast in that situation. So, very cool stuff. She's going to go off a lot in that situation. So, lowering defense and things like that, if you don't have any good options, she could be a good option there. And Jummergod, oh my god, I've always liked this, love this hero design. Look at this chest, means that she doesn't have any heart and things like that. And this staff, I love all this. However, I've never really seen her being used a lot in this situation. She will raise the defense on purples, which is you're usually never gonna need this situation. But I really like her character design for sure. And finally, these two heroes are an amazing option on the Shelly side, which is Lynn. If you don't have Lynn, you gotta get Lynn. She is one of the few dispellers that are red in the game. And and she's a very good one, so highly recommended. If you don't have Lynn, you gotta get Lynn, guys, 100%. And her awakenings are pretty cool as well. Raising the attack, chance to guaranteed the attack for this turn to be a critical. Well, honestly, she doesn't do a lot of attack, but it's pretty cool to actually put a crit weapon on her and see how much damage she actually does in that situation. So yeah, keep an eye on her weapon. I have a feeling that sooner or later her weapon is going to be awakened pretty awesomely, because yeah, she's one of the original red heroes for 4 stars in that situation. And finally, Rosie. I absolutely love Rosie. She does a good amount of damage for a 4-star yellow hero. She does a lot of damage in that situation. So yeah, and her skill is, even though it's average, she does do a good amount, and she does gain the mana back. So yeah, she's a pretty good 4-star yellow for sure. So between all these heroes that are the 4 stars, let's see. Tarmul is good. I would say Clara, if you're feeling spicy. She's not like the best of the 4 stars, but she's pretty cool. And then Lynn and Rosie. If if you're free to play, you gotta get Lynn. You gotta get Rosie. No questions asked. Those are 2 very powerful 4-star heroes for sure, guys. All right, guys. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please leave it in the comments, and we'll talk about it. All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.